guys, so today I'm going to be talking about Aquarius and love. So I switched up my background a little bit because I can't stand to look at the same thing every time I edit a video, so this is my bed, where I sleep and read sometimes. And yeah, those are the traditional, or shall we say, cliche YouTube bedroom lights. Okay, so before we jump into this, I just want to say that I'm not like specifically talking about Aquarius Sun. I would actually personally use this with my Venus, so if your Venus is an Aquarius, this might relate to you more. You can of course do Sun as well, you can also do Moon, whichever feels like the best fit, but a lot of times Venus might make a little more sense when it comes to like love and relationships. So I'm going to jump right into this, and don't forget that I will have a corresponding compatibility video coming out at the end of this week, most likely on Friday. So I'm also going to break this down into the basics about Aquarius, signs that they are interested, signs that they are in love, and signs that they're not interested or have lost interest. Here we have the astrological riddle. Just when you think you know the answer, something changes, and you find yourself left in the dark yet again. That's the Aquarius. You might find that Aquarius is very easy to make friends with. They come across as very sociable, friendly, outgoing. They might seem to be surrounded by many friends, but in reality, they really only have a few that they consider themselves close to. They might not, let everybody in on that fact, but in their head and their heart, they only have a few people that they really consider close to them and that they are close to themselves. While friendship is easy for Aquarius and it may lead to romance, often that kind of fizzles out. Aquariuses have a really hard time committing to somebody. But they can tend to string you along in the meantime, and it's not like they're doing it to be malicious, it's just how they are. Aquarius is the rebel of the zodiac. They like to do their own thing, and they're actually quite the opposite of Capricorn, who we talked about in the last video, where they're not particularly fond of tradition. They're not really into the idea of like old-fashioned relationship customs, like say a Capricorn would be. That being said, they tend to be very open-minded, and they prefer a relationship that feels equal between the two, despite gender or status. They'll probably be open to unconventional relationships, and they may be attracted to unusual or unique partners. That also goes for relationships. They like unconventional, but they also like a relationship that feels a bit unique, a little bit different than, your regular relationships, whatever that is. They might date someone that's really unexpected to maybe their family or friends, or it just seems like a surprise. They might get into an open relationship. Maybe they date more than one person at the same time. Maybe they even have a relationship with like two other people that are both into it. Unique stuff. I'm a Capricorn, I guess I can't relate. Aquarius might seem warm and fuzzy on the outside, where they're very sociable, friendly, but on the inside, they can be quite cold and detached from their emotions. They really value their independence, and they don't want to feel like somebody is clinging to them or restricting them from being, independent or free in any way. They don't particularly like to feel like somebody is depending on them either, at least not in like their romantic relationships. They might also be the types to see like normal relationship behavior as clingy or too much, like that most other signs would consider perfectly fine and not clingy or too much. So this can be, really confusing to a potential partner. And when I say that they're detached from their emotions and they're cold, like they're not like terrible people who have no emotions. They just keep their emotions buried really, really deep. And because of this, when they make their very rare appearances, it can be very intense. They might have explosive anger or sadness or even joy that just like shocks whoever they're with because they're not used to it at all. Aquarius are fascinated by others, they're fascinated by human behavior, and they really truly like to get to know people. They really like to analyze people and understand them, but they don't like when the tables are turned and people try to analyze them or understand them. They really hate when people pry into their business. Aquarius will commit to the right person for them. They're not people that just never commit, they will. But they still require a lot of independence, and they're not going to be kept on a short leash, or any kind of leash for that matter. They need to be able to be their odd, quirky selves and be loved for it. If Aquarius is interested in you, they're gonna ask a lot about you, and they're gonna make a genuine effort to get to know you. So they might ask you like how you grew up, what you feel about this, your past history of relationships, and all sorts of questions that sometimes can like shock you with how bold they are. That typically people don't ask when they're first getting to know you, like the really intense probing questions. They may become friends with you, and then you start to notice that your friendship is growing closer and more intense. They might try to impress you with like their talent and their intelligence, and they're not going to be particularly shy about that. They're not like full of themselves so much. They can come across that way sometimes, but they're not really super humble about, you know, sharing their accomplishments and kind of like showing off. Oh, my back. They might try to teach you things or like offer you lessons. Like say they're really into golfing. They might bring you golfing and try to like show you how to hold a golf club, swing a golf club, play golf. You get what I'm saying? If they play guitar, maybe they teach you how to do that, even if you don't want them to. They might make comments that you are different, you're weird, you know, you're unusual. And don't be insulted, those are compliments coming from an Aquarius. That means that they are very interested in you. If you give them space and they're the ones that reach out to contact you, that is a definite sign that they are interested. If they've been dating you for a long time, that's a sign in itself. For them to be truly committed to one person for like longer than a couple of months is a sign that they are taking you seriously. A big indicator is they kind of start acting like they're your protector in a way. You know, they want to feel like they're important to you. And they're going to show you through gestures and all sorts of things that they have the ability to take care of you. You might start to see their true emotions. You know, maybe they cry around you. Whoa! Shocking, I know. They tell you things about themselves that nobody else knows. They start to really let you get to know them and see the true them, not the one that they kind of like showcase to all their friends and acquaintances. They will flat out tell you that they love you. If this is the case, then they feel really comfortable with you and they aren't shy about letting you know their feelings towards you. They'll start to spend time, you know, getting to know the people that you're close to, and they're gonna make a genuine effort. Like maybe you're really close to your mother or your cousin Sally. You know, they're gonna really put in the effort with your mom or with Sally. They're gonna start fitting into your life, but not in a way that is like over the top, because they're gonna take time for themselves as well and still have the space that they need. And if they are spending time away from you, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can just mean that they trust that you accept them as who they are and that you know, are gonna give them their independence and be okay with it. And you know, as long as like all the other stuff is going on that I just mentioned, then it's okay, because sometimes Aquariuses can just disappear, and we're gonna get into that now. When Aquarius starts to complain about you being clingy, or you know, they start spending less and less time with you, and again, like it's kind of hard because sometimes they just need their space, so you don't know if they're just like taking a little space, being independent, or if they're, you know, trying to like distance themselves from you. It could really be one or both, so I mean, you just have to weigh out what else is going on in the relationship. Another sign is that they cheat on you. I mean, yeah, that kind of seems like an obvious one. Aquariuses are more likely to cheat than a lot of other zodiac signs, and I'm not saying that they're a bad person because of this, it's just that they have a really hard time sticking to one thing. Another reason that they might cheat is because they never really consider themselves in a relationship in the first place. Again, they're not the type to lay down like traditional labels like boyfriend and girlfriend all the time, so maybe they've just been dating you and they never really considered it serious, and you did, and they seem like they cheated, but they didn't see it that way. It's unfair, I know. They might just disappear, you know, and I'll say like for a long period of time now. They stop answering your phone calls. They stop responding to your text messages. They don't reach out to you whatsoever. They blow off plans or make excuses. This is definitely a sign that they don't want to deal with like the emotional side of telling you that they're breaking up with you, that they don't want to be with you, that they're not interested in you. So they're distancing themselves and taking kind of like the easy way out by just trying to like slowly fade away from your life, hoping that you'll just forget about them, which, you know, it'd probably be easier to just let you know, but that's like too much for them. They don't want to see you get upset and like have a meltdown because they just get really uncomfortable with that. If you're the one going after them, then they probably aren't interested. So if you're pursuing an Aquarius, maybe it's the early stages and you haven't really been in a relationship yet, it's probably not a good thing, because they'll typically pursue people that they're interested in, and it can happen where you pursue them and everything works out perfectly and you have a great and happy relationship. But if they're interested in something, or somebody obviously, then they're going to initiate things. So that is Aquarius in love. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, make sure to tune in for Aquarius compatibility, and I will see you in that video. And yeah, as always, have a good day or night.